If you're running your own language teaching related business, you've probably encountered the advice to pick a niche. But for some, this idea feels counterintuitive, if not downright risky. The fear often boils down to a single question. Won't narrowing my focus limit my opportunities? Yet time and time again, what I see is that small businesses that embrace niching thrive, while those that resist often struggle to make the impact they deserve. In this video, I'm going to challenge the fear of niching and explore why it's not only worth overcoming your resistance, but why it could be the most transformative decision you make for your business. My name's Rachel Roberts, and I help language teaching related teachers, coaches and trainers like you fully monetize your skills and experience so you can transform your business, your life and the life of your clients too. Check out the description below this video to find out the different ways I can help you. When you try to appeal to everyone, you take the risk of appealing to no one. Think about it. If someone asks what you do and you reply, "Well, I work with all kinds of people," how memorable is that? The human brain is wired to seek relevance and clarity. And when your messaging is vague, it just doesn't resonate in the same way. You want people to immediately be able to see how what you're offering is relevant to them and can help them. If people don't see themselves in your offer, they generally quickly move on. Now imagine telling someone something like, "I help C2 level teachers vastly improve the range and flexibility of their vocabulary so they can help their students more and feel more confident in their own language." Suddenly, your message has focus and impact. And even if the person you're speaking to isn't a C2 level English teacher, they're more likely to remember you and perhaps recommend you to someone who is your ideal client. At its core, niching is all about alignment. When you define who you serve and how, that has knock-on effects throughout your business. It makes it easier for you to take the right decisions about your business, from your branding to your offers. Everything becomes easier when you know who you're speaking to. It boosts your efficiency because instead of trying to spread yourself thin, trying to serve a whole range of different clients, you can focus your energy where it matters most and become more and more expert in that area. And it can build trust because people are always more likely to choose someone who specializes in what they specifically need. In the early days of a business, it's very tempting to cast a wide net. And to a certain extent, I don't think that's a terrible thing to do because you can find out a lot about who you really are best suited to work with. However, if you're telling yourself that niching is actually going to limit your potential, in reality, the opposite is true because having a clear niche creates more clarity both for you and your clients. A clear niche answers some fundamental questions that you absolutely need to know the answers to. In other words, what exactly is it that you offer? Who is it for? And why should they care? And when these questions are easy to answer, then your marketing becomes so much more effective and sharper. Your services feel more cohesive and your potential clients feel confident that you understand their needs and that you are the right choice for them. Specialization doesn't just make you easier to find, it also makes you easier to recommend because a clearly defined niche positions you as an expert, and that opens the doors to all kinds of opportunities to get in front of other people's audiences through collaborations and referrals. When you have a clear niche, people immediately think of you first for that niche. But if you're a generalist and your messaging is vague, it's much harder for others to champion your work because they don't really know exactly what it is that you stand for, and they're much more likely to think of somebody else who is more of a specialist. So niching makes it much easier for your network to work for you. And one of the most overlooked benefits of niching is the emotional connection that it fosters. People want to be understood, and when you speak directly to a specific audience, your message resonates on a deeper level. Your specificity signals to your audience audience that you really care about them and their needs and their concerns and their struggles and their aspirations. And this connection builds trust, which is essential in today's competitive landscape. People want to work with someone who gets them. And a strong niche ensures that your message lands with the right people. So far, I've talked about how niching can help with your marketing, and that's certainly a very important part of the puzzle. However, we shouldn't overlook the fact that by focusing on a specific audience, it can also help you to tailor your services to meet their needs as effectively and efficiently as possible. This doesn't just make your clients happier, it also makes your work easier, because you can create a targeted program that consistently delivers results for a specific group. And this not only boosts your confidence, but it also enhances your reputation. So if niching is so beneficial, why is there so much resistance to it? Firstly, I think it's often because people don't fully understand what niching means. They think that it means that they're going to be very limited in some way, that they're going to be doing the same old things all the time. But this is not necessarily the case at all. You can build plenty of variety into your niche. And also, having a niche is not a life sentence. Many businesses evolve their niche as they grow and as they get to understand that niche better and better. So you can start with what feels right now and know that further down the line, you can always refine your niche, or even pivot it completely. Another common fear is that it's going to mean turning clients away. Again, this does not necessarily have to be the case. You can take on any clients that you wish, although I do generally recommend to my clients that they focus on serving their niche, simply because that's a more efficient use of their time. But you are allowed to teach or train anyone that you want. Good niching is much more about focusing your marketing on that specific niche, and you can remain open to other opportunities to whatever degree you wish. And finally, I think there's often a kind of fear of missing out. But in fact, being too broad is what often leads to missing out. Because when you try to appeal to everyone, your message just gets lost in all of the noise. A niche can absolutely give you that competitive edge. So if you're ready to overcome your resistance about niching, what should you do? Start by asking yourself these 3 questions. First of all, who or what energizes you? Think about those clients that you've really enjoyed working with and that you've got fantastic results for. Secondly, what problems do you think that you're really good at solving and at helping other people to solve? Reflect on your skills, on your experience, on what you care about. And thirdly, think about where there's a need. Identify some gaps in the market that align with your strengths. This doesn't mean that you have to come up with something that nobody has ever done before. But usually a niche is a combination of different aspects, and together with who you are, does create something that is quite unusual and unique, and that will stand out in the marketplace. Ultimately though, don't overthink it. As I mentioned, your niche is definitely something that will evolve and develop with time. Start somewhere and refine as you go. And remember that niching is not about limiting your impact or potential. It's about channeling your energy to have the maximum impact.